this is almost like a museum right now, they don't use it anymore. Cyclotron, of course, with the cyclotron is a big topic, of course, right? Which we have. Now, this is the one which is started off, basically, it was like I mentioned, Lawrence was the one who looked at Wheatgrow's linear accelerator principle, and he thought that he could make it a circular orbit system rather than having a linear along the length of a straight line, basically. So, you want to, if you can have an alternating potential, this trick is the following. The trick is that the accelerating field must have the proper sign, proper phase, so that when the particle is entering it, that one is going to give the energy to that one as it goes there. So if it comes the decelerating phase, of course you are going to be losing you don't have the acceleration, but you got the deceleration, of course. So there's a bit of phase matching has to be done, but if it is done, then it's routinely done these days, there's no problem at all. Now let's look at this, what is working. So this is what, then you can talk about, so one thing we said, the cyclotron frequency. So look at what the cyclotron frequency is. The important thing, the beautiful thing to recognize is the following. As a first approximation, is the lowest approximation when you do this one. The cyclotron frequency is simply charge on mass, and then, okay, what's that one? It is not completely true. So this works well at lower energies. At lower energies when you are working with particles, in fact. So that means if you can orbit the particles, and if a constant frequency is changing, if you can match the cyclotron frequency with what you are expecting to the frequency of the particle change, accelerate, then you are in business. Then you are in business. That you can do in fact. So that's what exactly they try to do. So this is the one job. This is basically go back to the old theoretical which you know, cyclotron, like hemisphere or centrifugal force which you got there. Write down on that. I already showed you the Lorentz force equation. Apply from that one, and then the time of reverse traversal, because the frequency is constant, with the time traversal is constant, right? That's how we think about it. Nothing more than that. So which we got on that. So we can get this one, and then so the point you have to recognize is the following: the time period is proportional to the mass which you got there. That means if the mass is very high, the time is very high. That's okay, but the mass is small. When the time is very small, then I need a high frequency for the electron. I'm repeating the same thing I'm saying in a different way, in fact. So you can do a high frequency field for electrons, in fact. Before Second World War, we didn't have it. Construction is very easy. They used to make a D plates, in fact, there. So you make a D kind of D structures, they will call them. So what you do is the following: you inject a particle into one side, let's say one side, and it as it enters the gap there, and it finds an accelerating field. It goes to the other side. It goes to the other side, and then because of the momentum it has got, it is going to turn around, come back. And then when it completes the complete circuit, as we agreed, it's going to take the same amount of time. And then you want to come back again when the phase changes to be accelerating phase for the particle to be gaining energy. Of course, that's what you're doing. The particle is starting from the center, going around, and each time it is going out, it is gaining energy and coming back outside with higher energy. That's what it is doing. Then you want to extract. Sometimes you can do experiment internally also. You can put a target right inside the cyclotron, get it done, or you can extract it, pull it out, and then you can do it outside. Also, you can do that one. Now, the thing is, this is a principle which you got. So sometimes you can have a frequency, the twice the frequency of the electrons or the other particle, in fact, so that it can gain on both sides. Easier both sides of D also you can do that one. Or sometimes you just only dummy D, as you call it, put one dummy, doing nothing except guiding the particle to go through that one and bring it on that side. Either way, things will work. It's just economizing the space and economizing the size which you got. So we can keep on doing like that. Like I mentioned, the things are coming out, particles are coming out, and then you can do the explanation. But like I just mentioned, it should not really work. Why it should not really work? Especially if it tells you mass is not a constant, and especially if the particle is gaining energy, then you have got the relativistic calculation to make, and it's going to increase. So the particles coming outside are going to have the higher and higher masses, higher and higher energies. They are going to be slowing down basically. Gamma M has increased, time is going to be increasing also, frequency is going. So you have to adjust for this one. You have to adjust for the fact, so you have you simply cannot have one sort of magnetic field is going to just take it around in fact. So what you would do is following. You would do the magnetic fields as you go out from the central point outside, it's going to taper out in such a way, it's going to, at each energy that you can calculate for that one, it's going to match what kind of a velocity the particle is going to have, and then how much energy is different. That's what we got to do. It's done. It's done. Maybe I'm explaining it to be more difficult than what it is done. But it was not easy to do that, but then people have now perfected the technology for that, so they could do that. So they call it the frequency, fixed frequency cyclotron, EF, alternate frequency cyclotrons, and then we used to have got a sector focus cyclotron. That's a frequency modulator cyclotron. I remember I worked with the frequency modulator cyclotron back in 1970s. So then they got a sector focus cyclotron and so forth. Now they got a ring cyclotron. This is a ring cyclotron. So what they are doing basically is the same following. Instead of having this whole DC like they're going here, you got a fields which are tapering out and coming out. And again, same principle. The main difference is one. You are trying to match the frequency of the field at any particular point, so that the particle is going to be accelerated all the way through, correcting for the relativistic. Naturally, you recognize if you design this particular particle, then converting it to accelerate different species of particle is going to be difficult, of course. This difficulty is going to take place in a pelletron. Pelletron, what you get, the DC voltage comes down. It doesn't care. And the energy gain is equal to E times of the electric field which you got there. And then you just put down and come down. So all the particles coming from the pelletron will always get the same kind of kinetic energy as long as the charge is constant. They don't have anything different, of course. Otherwise, when you do this one, they have to be matching for this one. And in fact, we used to have issues with the accelerated neutrons from the proton cyclotron. They have to really adjust the system so that they could accelerate these particles. So that's what you got. Now, electrons. Not only that we have got this problem with electrons having this very high frequencies required and so forth. Electrons, because they're very relativistic and very low energies. That's so it's a boom. But the gamma is increasing very fast, so you got to really be careful about that. But in addition to that, if you're trying to make them go around in circles like this, they have a bad habit of emitting the radiation. So what is happening? You're trying to accelerate a particle, it's losing energy while it's being accelerated. What's going on? What can I do about this? And indeed, what happened apparently was in the Berkeley laboratories when they were working on this one, and when they looked at the beam force from the beam force, these two guys were working on it. They saw light from the beam force and the accelerated particle. They said, what is this light? Oh, synchrotron light. That synchrotron is emitting the light where the particle is going through that one. That is a recognition of the part that the synchrotrons and the accelerator and the circuits are emitting that, and we can use it for applications in fact. What we call the light sources, you talk about Indus 2 or Indus 1 in IBM and Saudi also, and in the other CAT, those ones and all the others which are built around, they are built upon this. That you remember the old Bohr's problem, right? The planetary model of the atoms. They would say, okay, if you've got an electron running around in a circle, they say, oh, an accelerated charge, an electron going in a circle is being accelerated, an accelerated charge particle is going to emit radiation, then it could never be in a stable orbit. And that was the problem which they faced when they were trying to understand and the stability of hydrogen atom, for example. Then both said, oh, these electrons don't care about what we tell them. They don't emit, they are special objects basically. And he didn't answer the question, he just ignored the question. He said, no, it doesn't happen, they don't do it. I just tell you, it doesn't happen. Oh, okay, fine, tell you, it doesn't happen. But these are free particles, they don't care what both thought about it, and they do it. And it's useful for us. We can use it. So that is important thing in fact. And when you can say about the power radiators, this is good old classical physics. This is all good old classical physics. In fact, that's one thing which really impresses me a lot. Building the accelerators is simply classical electricity, magnetism, and optics in fact. That's how they are. That's all. And of course, relativity has to be brought in. That does happen in fact. What he's doing, but there is no quantum mechanical aspect I need to understand these things in fact. Right? Now, so energy loss part of the the important thing, where should I care about that? That's what I ask. So this is very important to recognize. Delta E radiation, I can calculate that one. You see, it goes at E to the power of 4. As the particle's energy is increased, the radiation loss is increased as 4th power of the energy which you got there. So if I double the energy of a particle, that means I'm going to lose 16 times the energy of by the radiation in fact, for the same bending radius. It depends upon the rho. The radius per which I am trying to make the particle run around, it depends upon the energy of the particle which you got there. Now I can calculate what is, hey, why is it a problem for the electron, why is it a problem for the protons you are saying? Okay, now you can look at the electrons for the protons which you can. Let's look at LEP. LEP machine is the, it was now the retired facility of CERN. 100 GeV electrons which they had. Okay? And then they are trying to do the 100 GeV electrons to run around, do the experiments, correct? And then what happened? Delta E radiation, energy radiation loss is 2.86 GeV per ton. Every time it's going to almost 3 GeV in fact. 3% loss in 1 ton. And if I want to run an experiment for days and months and together, what am I going to do? Of course, we find a solution for that. We put an RF in the system, and we accelerate at each turn when the particle is going in the ring itself. Sorry, not only we accelerate in the booster rings which you energy got there, then the explorer ring which you got out there, we put an extra field there. So this purpose of this field is to kind of to kind of boost up the energy of the particle so that it comes back to what I originally planned for, in fact. So they have to do that. Otherwise, left 100 G would not have never worked, in fact. But this is dope, they did that. But look at LHC. 7.7 GeV protons, which is 7.7 Tesla, 10 TeV, which you got there. But that is 1.00011 MeV per ton, because the mass. The mass is the origin of the whole thing, in fact. So what we got here is the journal look this. But in the case of the electrons, you also look at the rho which you got. The rho is the radius of curvature with which you are bending the particles. That gives an idea for the synchrotron. Oh, I can really design the lattice of the structure so that I can pick and optimize this curvature so that I get the frequency of the radiation I want for experiments. I can do infrared, I can do the visible, I can go to X-rays, I can go to higher ones, in fact. So that's what they do. You got a whole machine there, but then you make it run into a particular well-designed lattice structure of the ring, which we call that, and then design and place in such ways, somebody gets infrared radiation, somebody gets X-rays, somebody gets ultraviolet, somebody gets this one, somebody gets that one, whatever they need to do for the experiment purpose. So that way you can sustain many multiple users at the same time without nobody interfering with the other's activities. That's what they do. Okay, microtron. Oh, this is my machine. I love this machine because I worked with this one also. I had the fun to work with use this machine for about 10 years of my life, I would say. This is a very interesting machine. It's a mixture of the linear accelerator and the cyclotron. It's a mixture of the thing, but designed in such a way. It's this very fanciful thing, in fact. You have a linear accelerator. You use this one to accelerate the particle. And then you send it around, I've got a picture of it, you can see it. And you can send it around a bending magnet. It goes into that, it's fixed here. So here I've got a party which is here. This is the part. Here is the party which is coming into this. My acceleration is okay. So I got this party which is this is my limit here. On this one, you can see go back to this. So the pinkish color which you are seeing in the linear accelerator, small linear accelerator which you got, depending upon whatever G you want to give, it's usually a small one. So the party is accelerated enters to the left-hand side, and then it goes through that part. The D is it's not a D structure. It's a structure which you can see there, and the party is accelerated, turns around, comes back, and comes back exactly the same point out of that one, and then it gains energy again. Because it gains energy again, its radius of curvature increases, it goes to the higher side. So it goes on, keep on increasing in higher and higher in orbit, which is always coming back the same point, even for the accelerator, in fact. So at each time it's getting the delta E energy, it's getting gain delta energy. So it can calculate again how much you got out of this one, in fact. So delta E that is going to be given by, it's going to be lambda times what you got. Lambda is the wavelength which this order frequency which you got. D field which you have on there. So I can put this, so we can put it, if you calculate for the structure which I made here, how much of energy gain I must put this particle so that it comes back to the same location, in fact. That's what I'm trying to do. So you are setting a particle, and then you say how much of energy gain I should give for each boost, so that the particle comes back exactly the same location. Goes wider orbits, but it enters exactly the same point at the injection, at the input point, into accelerating. Then it gets accelerated, goes down. It works like a charm. And there was a guy called Ebbinghaus in the mines. I think he retired quite a while ago. He was the master of this, in fact. I met with him, and it was really nice to chop with that. He was a genius. So this is the so this is the experiment which is called Mines microtron. We call it, they're called MAVI, we used to call it. It's an interesting acronym, microtron. So what it is, So when we talk about the accelerators, you see, when you talk about accelerators, it's a small machine with sport tabletop, we can do that. It's good for practice and learning things, education, so on. It has an applications also. But these accelerators, one accelerator is not simply one accelerator. It's a complex of accelerators. Many accelerators, you got the starting point, and then that's like an injector, and upgrade, high energy increases, second stage, third phase, fourth phase, nth phase, or whatever you got there, and finally you got the final energy switch on. You got to match everything from the starting point all the way to this one. But still physics is the same thing. Physics has not changed. What changes is the technical details as to how you make it work. That's what you got there. So here is the situation here. This one is the very left hand which got the 14 MeV microtron. I could just stand there and see how this little microtron which you got there. And then the second phase, so that 14 MeV after they send it to the second phase, which they get 180 MeV. So Helming also wanted to get 140 MeV only because of the acceleration grades which are good support. But physicists looked at, oh no, we want more, we want 180 MeV. Why? Because 180 MeV you are above the pion threshold. So they said to Ebbinghaus, if you give me 140 MeV, I cannot produce the pions. I'm very close to the threshold. It's not going to be good for me. But you give 180, we can do the gamma photopion production measurements and do some physics, even with the small machine. So this is what we did. So the next phase was the 800 MeV mission. That's where I worked, in fact. It's called the, that's where I worked. That's 800 MeV, 850 MeV electrons. They're sending in that one. So then after that, they made one more, which I don't have it here. They went up to 1.5 G as a fourth stage, in fact. But the sizes increase very, 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 very big. You start with a small tabletop, becomes a huge machine, huge, more and more huge, and becomes a real estate problem, of course. And the question. But the thing is, what I really enjoyed this machine, this is about the layout. This is about the 800 MeV layout machine. First RTM, second RTM, and the other, we are seeing only two of them here. So this is going to 140 MeV electrons in fact which you got on there. 180 MeV. So, but the important thing was, what impressed me, so I was one day working at night time, midnight around that time. I want to change some calibrations and then I want to test some my counters of that behaving. And I was standing in my experimental area and control area, my experimental control. And I called the operator who is another building nearby there. And of course we had to speak a bit in German, I can do a bit of German, that's not a problem. But I said, hey, bring the current by a factor of 3 down. He said, alles klar, that's what he said, alles klar. And while he was talking, he already did that one. Before I got off the phone, the beam current was down and the system was perfectly. And that is a very different experience I have from many other laboratories. In fact, I used to ask my Sanskrit, decrease the intensity. Oh yeah, okay, it's done. Then it's flashes all over the place. Counter is going on, it goes up. Why? Because the beam is scanned all over the place, all the garbage is produced in the room, and everything is just doing everything in right. So they have to struggle with it. But this machine was like a chart. This is microtron. It's like microtron research. But there's also, this is the second generation. A synchrotron. Like we mentioned, now we are there. So what is the synchrotron? Synchrotron is not only electron synchrotron, there are proton synchrotrons also. But electron synchrotrons are more common these days because of the applications that they have for industry, in fact. And I work in Japan at a synchrotron, and there is a Toyota. We have, I'm sorry, they got all the beam lines here. We got 2 beam lines here. My group, our group, I do Japan. And the Toyota has a beam lines there. I can walk around all the beam lines and talk to people and so forth, but not with the Toyota. That's completely out of access to anybody. In fact, there is a very classified proprietary research onto that one. So there are rumors, of course, they are developing very high efficiency, long batteries and things like that for future cars and so forth. We don't know what they're doing, but we can't go there. Nobody will talk to us. Because they're they pay for them. What, of course, our Spring Air likes them because they pay for them. We don't pay anything, but they pay. So they're not very bad workers, but they're classified, very proprietary working. Okay, now it's much better. So how does the synchrotron really work? The storage, there are 2 components, storage of the synchrotron. You see, we talk about, you want to increase the energy, you're trying to put particles into a ring, and then what you're trying to do is you're trying to accelerate the particle to certain energy there. Well, as we said, P is equal to 0.8 BR, we also. Oh, but suddenly increase the energy of the particle from a value to a higher value, the radius of curvature increases, means particle is lost. And then we go in a circle like this. Suppose I just give a very drastic increase of the energy for the particle by increasing my electric RF field, for example. Particle has very high energy, then it cannot be contained in the same radius and curvature. So then it will just get lost, it's going to hit all the walls and things like that. I lost my purpose. We say, no, we can do something differently in fact. We don't do that. What we do is basically, we define an orbit where we want the particle to run around, but then we increase the B fields are all going to start from a low value which you got there, and I introduce the particles in there, and then I put an RF field also to this one. I ramp up each one in parallel in front of just like a massaging the things, basically gradually working with them and so forth. There is a small perturbation of the energy, small perturbation radius of curvature, but there is a tolerance. So as long as you are in the tolerance, the particle is not lost. So you do this one and gradually, sometimes they take about a few hours to get this whole thing done. But the thing is, the point is, your structure is so simple, I just kind of, instead of having the particles going around all over the place, coming out, I got one fixed orbit. I can put my magnets well defined there. I just have to manage their strengths, and everything works better. And it does. And it does. So you see, everywhere I'm just writing the same equation, nothing more than that. Whenever I'm talking about how to bend a particle in my magnetic field, for measuring the moment of the particle, or how to manage this same equation works in fact. So life cannot be simpler than this. It is something. Of course, technical aspect of how to make it work. Of course, you need a technical prowess, knowledge, and that's what you got, knowledge that you got to do. Okay, so this is a proton accelerator is called this called. There is a synchrotron here. I was proposing some experiments, my collaboration and so forth, but finally I'm too old for not to pursue these things. I'm still on the list of experts over there. But basically, what this proton accelerator research center, so there is superconductor in LINAC. You got a protons being accelerated by linear accelerator up to about 1 G energy. And then what you do is you send to another ring, which is, you can say, small triangular kind of a shape which you got there. That gives you the 3 proton G. And there they do the neutron experiments, in fact. You guys have got some interest in the neutron physics here. And what is called the T2K experiments, the Tokai to Kamiokon, the neutron experiments are done by these guys, in fact. Not only that, they got a neutron facility, but the material sciences, this is also done right there. On top of that, they got the big ring with a big circle. That's the one they went for. It's a 50 GeV proton machines, so that they can produce very high energy kaon beams. It's called a kaon factory, in fact. There were not a competition. Canada wanted to have one. There was a big proposal in Canada for us to have a kaon factory, as we call it. And then the Japan was trying to build this one also. And there was a lot of things. Even in Japan, it took a long time for them to get funded for this project. But finally, they got funded here. But Canada finally gave up that project, became more of a heavy ion physics and as well as the radioactive beam facilities for astrophysics aspects that were there at Triumph in UBC, in fact. The Triumph which is on the campus of UBC. So this is what it is. So this is a J-port facility what you got there. You can see what the sizes are. LINAC is 330 meters, which we got there, 3 GeV synchrotron, 1 megawatt, which covered in that one, and the 50 GeV synchrotron is half a kilometer diameter, if you want to call that one. This is what we have there. And this is the one which sends a neutron to the Kamiokande. As I mentioned, the T2K people who are doing the neutron oscillation works and so forth. That is the one which is done in this particular place indeed. So basically, the idea behind this everything. You got a linear accelerator, particles are being accelerated from that, and the proton acceleration is much more difficult compared to the electron acceleration. The reason is very simple. So what happens is that the proton is being accelerating proton to higher energies. A proton is not very relativistic at start to begin with, in fact. So it's very sensitive to any transverse fields, which are kind of parabolic fields, in fact. Whereas an electron is becomes very relativistic very fast. By the time you go to 1 MeV, you already got about the gamma is equal to 3, okay, beta is equal to 4.8, 0.7, 0.8, is going to go to that one, in fact. So it's only right at the point. So it doesn't care about the neighborhood. If you got a transverse field distortions a little bit, it doesn't get just close to that one, you can really build upon that. Care about the longitudinal field, longitudinal, you can do that. Whereas protons are sensitive to that. And I was very surprised when I see a proton LINAC as to how big for the closure laboratories, in fact. What was it? We are transfer sensitive, so we've got to make the particles to be really matched on that one. So then once we go up to 3 GeV, 4 GeV, then the situation is still easier, of course. That's why you see they don't go to 50 GeV immediately. They have an initial phase and they go to 1 GeV, 3 GeV, 500, 50 GeV. That's the kind of things which are looking at. This explorer hall which we try to do our playground, of course, because we sit here and the other guys are sitting on the other side and they give the beams and we try to play around, build our equipment and so on. So this again, so this is spring. This another one is electrons light source. This is where I spent. We started working here in 1996. So it's already 27 years. Oh, I'm still there. I'm still working in this place here. So Harima, Japan. So this is the one. These are the 66 beam lines. So 66 groups are simultaneously doing their own work without one does not interfere with the other's work. In fact, they just can manage all this in and this is 8 GeV electron synchrotron, and like I said, they got the X-ray switch on. But our system is different. The reason we were there was we don't want these materials such very nuclear physics, particle hadron physics, and powers in fact. So there was a known system which is called the laser complex scatter system, laser backscatter system in fact. Back in 1948, around that time, I forgot his name, he's very well known guy, Italian physicist. They were working upon the intergalactic, interstellar light radiations and shift like that in fact. So they thought, they were asking a question. Okay, when we do the complex scatter in the laboratory, which is talked about as a complex. Oh, the electron is at rest, gamma comes. Okay, the outgoing gamma has got higher, lower energy than the incoming gamma is. But what happens in the interstellar structures? The ions are moving, they are not at rest. In which case, what is the energy that outgoing photon that is getting takes place? The calculation shows simple Lorentz transformation which you do. There's nothing but that number. You do the Lorentz transformation. Then you find outgoing photon is a higher energy than the incoming photon in fact. Oh, that was something. It took another 15 years, like in 1960s, by the time where the laser was invented, by the time synchrotrons were coming into picture in fact, electron synchrotron. So then a group not MIT, this one and another group in Russia. These two groups did exactly the experiment. They said, okay, we've got synchrotrons, we've got laser, let's shoot. What we get out of that? And they, lo and behold, they got higher energy, as expected, according to the form. And it goes to the gamma to the power 4. If you increase the electron energy by factor 4, that means factor 4 is going to get 16 times the energy of the photon that's coming out of that. And that's what they do. So this is our system. So the electron, energy electron comes here, and this is what we call a BL30, this is beamline 33, that is laser electron photon scattering system which you got there. We shoot the laser right into the electron beam in the ring, and we don't interfere with anybody else at all because we cannot deplete the electrons for them to be losing flux to the other people. So be watchful, mindful about that. Because if we take away right now they got the top of what they don't care what we do. We don't worry about radiation and so forth. That's what. So you shoot this one, and then what comes along? So I shoot them from the right to the left. Electrons are going in a ring like this, and I'm shooting at them right head on. And then out the backward, the gammas are coming back right from the backwards. In fact, exactly they come out to the right hand side basically. You shoot from the right to left, and the gammas come from left to right. Basically what you got. So then we can start the systems which you got. So this is the laser system. You can finish very well the laser system which you set up there. And then we got these are big. Right now the picture looks so clean here. But today, if you go there, this is completely filled up with all kinds of equipment. There is no room to walk, basically. But this actually, I'm seeing in the back, the big structure, that's where we put all the tests and so forth. And we do all instruments on that. So then, let's talk about the last topic. Before colliders. You also have to go. So why colliders, you talk about it. You think about this one. When you think about the two particle collisions, what is important for you? If you're a physicist, what is it you're asking for? You want a center of mass energy. That's what you're interested in. You don't care about the lab energy, in fact. And then you write about the center of mass energy. It's going to be for the particles which are colliding against each other. Or it could be a dress. One is a dress. Doesn't matter what you got. This equation will tell you what the center of mass is going to square upon. And the 2E1, E2, the total energy of the two particles which you got there. And the one was beta 1, beta 1. Beta is the electricity factors. V over C, which you got there. So if you got one of them is 0, of course the beta, this is last time is going to be disappearing, you simply go down with this fraction fact. With a stationary target, that's what you get. But whereas with the colliding tracks, what you get is with a colliding target, sorry, with colliding beams, the beta one is, this is what you got. So if you take the center of mass energy for that one, so you got a very high, so you're going to subtract this one for part which you got there. But I'm going too fast. So you can put that one there, beta 1, beta 2 man. Remembering E1 and E2 plus the total energies, putting the beta 1, beta 2 is approximately 1, you can find the E center of mass energy extremely high. Especially when you got a proton target. That's the reason they use the polar beams. Otherwise they don't use polar beams. So when you do this one, we don't talk about the cross section, we talk about the luminosity. Why? So it's easy to say, oh, I get a lot of energy. Right? Hey, how do you get this work? You got to have these two particles coming exactly and colliding each other head on in the interaction region. That means you're focusing, steering, and everything has to be very, very precise. That's what you got to manage. It's not an easy task. You're picking a micron, submicron, the dimensions in fact. That's what you have to work for in fact. And then when you do that for your luminosity is something which you always go. If you go to the NSC website or they always have the luminosity, integrated luminosity can go 34, the instantaneous luminosity can go 32 or whatever they call it. This is what they're, how many particles are in each bunch? You got 2 particles. What is the frequency of how frequently they are colliding with respect to each other, so many particles you got there, and what are the dimensionalities? As you can see, as you can squeeze the particles smaller, then your luminosity goes up. Right? Naturally, that's what you're looking at in fact. So this is the one which you can take. So when you look at this one, you can tell. So then sigma cross section was the luminosity is going to even. So they say, oh, we got a pico bond inverse, a femto bond inverse. What they mean is, if you got a femto bond, you can get a 1 count, for example. So 1 count. That's what they really mean. Because pico bond, I must have at least 1 pico bond with a factor of 1,000 probability high rate for me to be able to say 1 event. That's what you really mean in fact. So that's what the point which you have. So SLAC is the legendary, not only people are legendary, there are also legendary instruments also. So SLAC is a legendary instrument in that sense. 2 linear accelerator, they used to call that one as a graduate student, who is wow. See, electron positron collider, they made it 2 miles long. In fact, it's still there. I was there about 10 years, so anyway, I visited the place. The lines are still there. They're not using it anymore for that purpose, but that is something else. But that's still there. So these are 2 linear accelerators, the longest in fact. So this is the thing which we have to that. So this is a big one, good can, which you got 7 accelerators. Okay, we talk about LHC. LHC is not one machine. LHC is just one of, it's a sort of complex of sort of machines that you got on. The huge machine which you got on is that you can see the particles are coming from the left hand side, going into what's called PS, and going to this one, there's an SPS which you got there, and from the SPS it's going to the big one which you got. Now they're planning for something which is going to be, I don't know, 10 times as big as this one or whatever it is, going across several countries, okay. That's what they're going to be doing with this to get higher energy information. Atlas detector. You know what Atlas detector? What is Atlas detector? It's not single one. Singular counter or white chamber which is sitting there. This is a 3-story building. You can see how many elements are under that. Spectroscopy we can see. What is called an Atlas detector is a 3-story building of all the elements. The height of it, you can see how much it is. So this, you can see the ladder standing there, so people can go to the 3rd floor and fix the elements there, 2nd floor fix the elements there, so you can't be in the same place at the same time. That's what you got there. So you're trying to detect everything that comes out of it. All charged particles, neutral particles, and everything. So then you have to worry about how this works. So this is very I should say about the Darmstadt, Germany. There's a lot of connection from India and the Darmstadt, in fact, especially for the fair collaboration. There's what is called as the NUSTAR, I think it's called. NUSTAR collaboration of India, which is in the IIT Rohtak, Pushpendra is involved in that, and Pillai from this one there. And I also know his name is Hans, Johannes Hans, I think. He was also here. I met him a few times in India also. So there's a lot of interaction going on. This Indian community in GSI is really growing. I've met them a few times in fact. So this is called, it's a proton accelerator, antibody accelerator, and this is a very huge facility. And they're trying to do this one. And they still is in the works. And last time I heard was about a year ago, 2 years ago, that they had the issue of Russian contribution to the project. And now the Russians are in trouble with the Western world. So this particular project. So this was the Livingston plot. which will tell you how the things have gone up from 1 GeV all the way to 1 TeV approximately. See, proton machine you can go to 1 TeV, 7 TeV, we already gone there. But electron machines are still a dream, in fact. There is a design in place. And the E plus E minus corners 1 TeV, they want to go, and it has been worked from the 1990s, mid-1990s in India. And currently, a site was also identified by Japanese people to build it at the Shibuya Prefecture, it's called, and Iwate Prefecture. Iwate Prefecture, north of Tokyo, and I happen to see the location also, but nobody has given the money yet. So that's it. Okay, now I just want to end up with one. This is what I want to point out, laser wave field effect. Okay, when we talk about RF fields, RF field, RF that one. So we said we get 100 million volts per meter. That's basically what you could get, maximum we can expect. Now, we don't even get at this time right now, but we can have it. But if you can go to plasma waves, and if you can use the plasma wave fields to accelerate, it is not 100 million volts, you can go to 100 gigavolts per meter. Ooh, that's very interesting. In fact, 1,000 improvements, right? Why can't we do that? And this idea was there from back in 1970. I think there was an Indian person in California. His name was a museum. He was one of the top leaders of the East. I think he retired now. But he said, so this is the one they started back in 1970s, late 70s in fact. So you can make it a very narrow system, and you can bunch it very. Instead of 1 picosecond, you can make it 1/10 of a picosecond. Always important, if you look at the particle density, the smaller the bunch you can make, more effective is your usage in some sense. In some sense, also adversely also depends on what a study will predict. So what you can make very fast things in fact. That's what you're trying to do. So what is it you're trying to do? The following: you're having a ferret kind of a situation you're trying to create that, and then you're having a heated plasma base coming upon that, and you're trying to create a bubble. And these bubbles are the ones which are going to be guiding fields for the particles to be accelerated. That's why they really want to do that. And the one thing what they did was, so if you do this kind of a thing, they are talking about tabletop accelerators. So if you want to do the tabletop accelerators, you can have 1 terawatts per meter. Probably you can expect that. There's a caveat. I should not open this. When they put in this kind of a thing, you should recognize the laser system that you are going to are huge, of course. They are not too small. They're going to actually a lot of space. They don't release it. But once you get the laser from there, and then you put it in your response. So you can imagine a situation, probably you can put it outside of a hot. So people are going, why don't we just build this for one? Then you can probably use the radiation therapy. In every hospital can have a tabletop machine and with the radiation therapy. In fact, probably we can talk about that. But then there is still the other thing which you can do is one of the important things was so this is one paper which was published in about 7 years ago, 7 8 years ago, 9 years ago. This is the thing which you can see. They made about 10 centimeters. This one. They made 4.2 G. The quantum which you are seeing corresponds to electrons of 4.2 GeV coming in about 10 centimeters length in fact. That is good. But if the people wanted to use this for particle physics, that's not going to be very useful. Because the reason is the following. The reason is when you are doing particle physics, you want to have precise beam energy definitions. And if you look at this one here, this whole spectrum, you see all the blue ones is much more dominant than the rest of the all the other particles of various energies which are coming in this one. And to filter out and to get these particles out there, what their intensities are going to be, and then make good use of them is going to be a difficult task, of course. So that's why even after 9 years, we still don't hear too much about it as the next step for these people, in fact, what they are trying to do. However, there's something else which, if you are still interested only in terms of the applications, I don't really care the beam quality to some extent, for example. I want to make an isotope, artificial transmutation. What do I care? As long as I produce isotope, my interest in the beam quality is bad, I can always chemical separation, bring my isotope out and use some application, in fact. So in that case, I don't worry about. And again, I don't need the 4 GeV machines, in fact. I need only 100, the 10 MeV, 20 MeV machines, what I would need for them. So this is the kind of thing which one can think about it. So the proton, so the laser pulse is shot into the system here, and then you got this from the surface there, and then you try to measure it. So basically, the wave field is called in such ways. So when you send in a laser pulse into this very high intensity laser, per pulse in fact, you make a very short pulse, high flux, what you're sending. When you talk about petawatt lasers, it's not that the average power is that, but it's only peak power is what you're talking about in fact. Okay. That's what you got. When you do that one, what you're doing is you're creating a very unstable situation there, and all the electrons are going to be scattered away from there. But then once the positive goes past that, they try to come back to this side and they find the positive ions there, and there's a principle. The positive ions are going to drag the electrons along with the mediator. So these guys are being light with the energy that this one, they're going to be higher. That's how the people describe this one. And then, so this kind of the target, the lasers which have the blood plasma which you got there, and then you're creating a chaotic situation here, which are separating the ions, and then the particles are getting accelerated because of the chaotic field which you created, and then you focus them and try to bring them out. These are all mostly in the works and in the laboratory situations, also very preliminary stages. And I talk to people who are professionals in this one, and I say, come on guys, can you give me a date when you can have this one? Nobody is very comfortable to say that you can have it tomorrow morning or something like that, or even 5 years from tomorrow. But there's something still, there's a promise, but this has been okay for 30 years also. It offers some promising factor. So these are radiation particles. See, you can see here they have produced up to about 40 MeV or 60 MeV protons. The last but not the least, a project which has been in work, this has been being built in Romania. This is a European proposal. It's called extreme lighting infrastructure. This is supposed the highest power laser to do the many aspects of it, except one of them is the nuclear physics again. LINP is called nuclear physics structure. For this one, they want to bring in the energies of the order of 20 MeV in one place and 150 MeV in one place, and it is working on this energy. This facility is in a limbo right now, a little bit, kind of the NP5. There are some issues with the delivery of the linear accelerated components to the LI place. While the lasers are doing extremely well, but the nuclear physics part of the LINAC machine is not doing good. Last time I talked to them was about 6 months ago or so. Sorry, 6 months ago with my friends in Darmstadt, and it's not really good. But so this is the things that is offering are these laser scatter facilities, laser liquid accelerations, probably for the applications and low energy structures could be promising. Very high energy physics if you want to do with that, maybe not that feasible at this time, at least with where we understand it today. But as you can see, different energies, different species, different technologies, either based upon the RF fields or with respect to the laser fields or the steady state fields. So the DC fields, only low energy machines are possible, but they have done very well for the nuclear physics community and the particle physics community also. Thank you. I hope you find this useful. I think I've started. Thank you.
I think it is one of the longest inaugural sessions we ever had.
My apologies.
And in spite of all that, as Rakesh ji was saying, for an accelerator physicist, I think his energy is very, very high.
He works in high energy. All the high energy facilities you have shown.
Sorry?
All the high energy facilities you have shown, for the last 50 years or so.
Last 50 years.
He started with 20 grams.
20 gram, yeah.
Low energy to high energy that he covered.
So you see how much physicists have put in effort to really probe into nature.
Yeah.
That's what it shows all over the world. You can see how much effort is going on to understand nature. So that is the beauty.
And the applications with that. What
Actually, that's the beauty, right? The thing is, like even the science, somebody in the morning was mentioning, I think Arnold was mentioning, science progressed because of war, unfortunately. But then after that, there were tremendous benefits which have accrued from it. So any knowledge, it's up to us how we use it. But pursuit of knowledge should not stop. It should continue. And unfortunately, it's our job actually also to, like Baba is a great visionary, was able to convince the Prime Minister that we should go for this, we should go for that, right? Whereas that kind of visionaries we need even today, because we are telling money is not coming for things. Like in budget, I tell you many times, right? Why should India go to moon? We don't have so many people, don't have food. If you are going to think like that, who else needs a moon actually? If at all tomorrow.
When somebody asks that question, she said, Mars is too far, so we don't go.
It's not that, you see, like I was telling in the morning, if you think that, how are you going to make progress if you are only going to, you have to think of all aspects. Nobody is saying that people should go hungry. Yeah, we should look after them. That doesn't mean that we are not going to progress further. Okay, that kind of a balance, because what I am saying is, many of our youngsters, they will be the future leaders. We should be able to convince the, politicians that why we need this kind of money to do research. Yeah. See, now Japan is reducing population, US reducing population. India is increasing population. We are also to do the job. Young population.
India is exporting population.
And you see, for example, if you need more space, but all we find, life is easy on moon. Who has to go? We only have to go.
Is it moon? I don't know.
Right? We are the largest population, so we don't have to go there. See, if we would have been thinking like that, today, we will not have people like Sir coming all the way flying just like that. When we were very small, we were thinking like that. Now, just as I. Now, all of us are able to fly. So, progress should not be equated with, poverty. That's what I'm trying to say. Both are important.
The spin-off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, we have made a lot of progress. Like Sir has given another talk in which he talked about how, you can make things germinate by giving radiation to it. So, constantly there should be progress in science, and that's what we think. And imagine, as usual, we are not very good like, other departments. I even forgot to give the presentation.
No.
Yeah, at least now we should do it. We are so sorry, sir. Typical physicists, we forgot that you have to.
Actually, we thought that you have taken them for yourself.
Just put up a like, I just so sorry. सर को मैंने बताया सर ले आओ सर तो ले आए आप तो बोल दिया तो ले
Oh,
typical physicists we are.
Beauty of physics.
So thank you so much sir for this is our Rivas here. सबको आने दो थोड़ा सा पीछे से सर सबके साथ एक फोटो खींचेंगे सब हाँ बढ़िया we should not forget our Rangachari.
Oh my goodness.
Just because he had क्या लगाना होता है उसके बाद लेना होता है so humble.
Thank you so much.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
आप तो पकड़िए सर
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
सर ये पहले रखना है खोलना नहीं सर उसके लिए कौन लेक्चर देना पड़ेगा
That's interesting. Thank you so much.
Actually, people are very much about formality. We forget about all formalities. So I think what our time is short. Right? We'll go for lunch, then come back and show the video at the end. At 4 o'clock. Let us all, we are organized lunch in CRA and also outside. Maybe MSc students can go directly to the canteen and have lunch. And all teachers and scholars can assemble in CRA. Okay. Thank you. Oh, both of them,
गाली दे रहा आपने
शाम को ले लीजिए, शाम को।
ये वो यही वो तो समस्या है।
नहीं यूट्यूब में व्हाट्सएप कर दो सबको
This is local way.
शाम को ले लीजिए।
सरकार
Who the heck this guy is? I don't recognize
प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है
मेरा प्रॉब्लम है
उसमें प्रॉब्लम मेरे ऑफिस से करना नहीं कर पाते अगर आपने बना दिया तो मतलब अगर आपको पीडीएफ फॉर्मेट में तो तब तो मुझे लगता है चलो बनाइए वैसे पीपीटी एक्सपोर्ट है पीडीएफ किया पीडीएफ ही करनी चाहिए तो इसमें जो है यहाँ चला सकते बट क्या होता है कि जो लोगों के लिए शेयर करना है शेयरिंग में यहाँ से शेयरिंग में यहाँ से मतलब यहाँ तो दिख जाएगा बट अगर आप जस्ट पीडीएफ है तो आप यहाँ दे सकते हैं कितने लोग
Oh, thank you. Wow. So I never thought I would be coming.
चलो देखते हैं
Himalayas in my life. But this is my opportunity.
ड्राइव दे दो ना
Something you never
का बिला
Thank you so much. Huh? Lunch. We'll go for lunch.
कभी
I think what I should do is sit outside so that they are all bent. Not much of it is. No, thought I would hit the noise. Look, the noise always is awe-inspiring, right? The image as we grow up, shimmer dancing here.
ये मैं रख रहा हूँ बट मैं स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग करता हूँ ना